Hi everyone, this is Manish Pandey. Welcome back. Today we are going to explore global code feature within a business object in Blue Prism. This feature allows you to write reusable code that can be accessed across the different actions within the same object, which makes your automation more efficient and easier to maintain. I will show you a practical example to demonstrate how it works. So let's get started. So global code can be accessed from the Object Studio. Let me open this Blue Prism object. So this global code, and we create an action in this application module. It almost same. So whatever global code you will write here in this Object Studio, that can be accessed across the actions that here using the code stage. And actions that you create, that can be used across the processes. It means you can use those, that let's say you created one action to click to log in, right? And whenever you want to log in that, so you can just call that action from the process studio, from any processes. Same way here, let's say you are going to write a custom code to convert the date to the YYMMDD format. Then after creating that one, you can call that function anywhere in your object studio, and that can be accessed, that can be called from the processes. So let's understand what is global code. The global code feature in Blue Prism allows you to define code that can be reused throughout the action in Blue Prism business object. And this is particularly useful for defining common functions or utilities that multiple actions might need. Global code refers to reusable code that is defined in one place, such as initialized page of a business object, and can be accessed throughout the business object where it is defined. It can be called from any code stage within that business objects. Now let's understand where we can configure that. The global code can be written in the initialize page here by going to this business object property here, and then you can go to global code. So here you can write the code. Here we have option code options where you can add the external references, add the namespace. You can import the namespace by clicking on add. From here you can define the language that you are planning to use in the global code. So you can select whatever languages you want to select. So let me select Visual Basic, and here global code, you can add the code, you can write your custom code which can be accessed. Now what is the benefit of using global code? Using global code in Blue Prism, it offers several benefits. First, reusability means write code once and use it in multiple actions within the object. It means you will write here only one time and you can add multiple actions and you can use anywhere in the same object, and that can be called from the process. Second, maintainability. It means you can update the code in one place and it gets reflected across all the pages here. So if any changes you want to do, you can just modify here itself in the same code, and then that will be reflected everywhere. Third is consistency. It ensures that common functionality is implemented consistently. Now let's walk through a practical example where we use the global code to convert the date to another date format. So we'll be taking the date as a string, and then again we'll just convert to date and then convert the date to the YYMMDD format. So we are going to create a function, so that like we can create a function here, and then that function can be called in different, in other actions, other pages you can say. So we'll create a function first. Function, and then the function name will be format date, open close bracket, and then here we'll pass by value. We'll write by val, that means by value, and then we'll take one input argument, input parameter basically, that will be like input date, and we'll take it as a string, input date as a string, and then after that this will be a string. So we'll first define this function like this, and then we'll write return. So what do you want to return? We want to return like date time dot parse this string value that we are getting from here. So input date dot to string. So first we'll convert the date to the string, date time to the string now, and then open close bracket, double quotes. We are going to convert to YYYY dash mm dash dd. So this is the format. So first we'll be getting the data, that date in this variable, this data item, and then after converting the date will be convert to this date format. Now we'll end the function. So this is just a simple example we are taking to show you how to use global code. Now click check code. Okay, so there is no error. Click close, click OK. And now let's go to action, and here we need to take a code stage. So if you want to call that function, we need to use code stage. Without that we cannot call that function. So we'll double click on that. We'll write here convert date. We'll go to code and we'll just call that function here. So we'll write here format. So first you have to remember this, what was the function name. So this is format date. So same format name will use here, the function name. So format date, open close bracket, input date. So whatever value like we are passing there as a by val, that we're going to call here format date, input date, and then this value. So after like calling, so we'll be getting the formatted date. It means that after converting the date, so we are going to pass to one variable, we can say. So that will be formatted date. Now we'll be just passing this value to outside. So let's take one output equal to whatever data we'll be getting here, that will just pass to this output, and output will be your parameter. So let me, so after this we'll be just creating the parameters, input and output parameters, so that we can take the date, and then we can, after converting the date, we'll send this to the output. So before that we need to take here dim output as a string. Now let me click OK first, and then we'll be taking here two data item. One is for the input date, second for output. So we'll take here input, this will be text, this will be output. Again this is going to be text. Okay, now go to code stage again. We'll create one parameter here, and the name will be same as that the code that we have written here, that input date. So this will be our parameter name, and we'll take the input value from input from here. Now output will be, so again it will be same name, that formatted date and then output. So add formatted date, and we'll be storing this to the output. So let's see. Okay, so we have two parameters, input date and output. Now click OK. We'll double click on this input data item and then we'll pass our initial value. So let's say we are passing today's date. We'll passing 29/25 29/05 2024. This date in this format we are going to pass, and then after converting we'll be taking we'll be getting the output in a different format. So let's link this start with the code stage and then with the end stage. Now we'll right click, set next stage, and you can see here our input was 29/05/2024, that is in the DDMMYYYY. Now our output is YYYYMMDD. Why? Because in the initialize we have written to give the output in this format, and whatever value we are passing here, that we are converting here, and then it will return this value here. By using the return, it will return this here, and then we are calling this in this code stage, and this can be called multiple time in multiple actions here, and then this code can be accessed from the processes by publishing this page. So thank you for watching this video. I hope this video helped you understand how to use global code option in Blue Prism. If you found this video helpful, please like, share and subscribe. If you have any question, feel free to leave them in comments below. Until next time, happy learning.